road action, Johnny Gemmell emerges as the early leader, but he had a determined Jan Habich on his tail, just 2 seconds behind. Fecken drops from first to third, but the difference is only 4 short seconds. Damso was looking good in fourth, ahead of another close battle between Cronje and Kuhn. After the break, the pace on the Toyota Dealer Cape Rally heats up even more, taking Man and Machine to the absolute limit. Will the drivers exceed this limit, and will their machines be able to withstand such round 2 of the 2009 Sasol South African Rally Championship? The traditional war between arch rivals Volkswagen and Toyota is in the middle of another tough battle, with Toyota's Johnny Gemmell just seconds ahead of the Volkswagens of Jan Habich and Hergen Fecken. But what will it take to open up a gap?
Just break less once or twice, and I think that'll be enough.
Yeah, no, we're very close at the moment. We're like third overall, but it's within 2 or 3 seconds, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's close. Last year this event also was very close, man. Very close.
Stage 3, the last gravel stage of day 1. At 18 kilometers, Koppies is the last chance for any of the top drivers to try and put a little daylight between themselves and the chasing pack.
In what now started to seem like a 3-horse race, Enzo Kuhn and Guy Hodgson gave it their all in an attempt to join the battle at the front, but attacking from first on the road put this BP Ultimate team on the back foot.
Right 3 in, 100, right 5, tightens to 6, 5, tightens to 6, 100.
From second on the road, Visser Du Plessis and Gerard Snyman were comfortably holding on to second position in the production car category, but the Bertix Subaru was slowly losing touch with the production car leader. The production car leaders were Charles Wilken and Greg Godrich. It is only their second outing in the new Sasol Konica Minolta N14 machine from ProDrive in England. And although Wilken had a comfortable lead in his class, he couldn't match the pace of the S2000 machines like he did in Natal. After his eventful start to the season, Mark Cronje and Robert Paisley sported a big red L learner driver sticker on the back of their Castrol Toyota Auris, courtesy of their technicians. Cronje, however, took it with a smile, continued his onslaught, and went flying in stage 3, literally.
Jampje, guys, 80, turn right 9. Turn right 9. Turn right 9.
Personally, I think that's as fast as we're going to go for the weekend. I think there's some small gremlins somewhere and we need to find them. That's it.
Fernando Rueda's frustrating day in the Total Evolution Toyota Runnings continued. The Spaniard simply couldn't find the required power on these fast and open stages and continued to lose valuable time.
Missing, it just will not pull.
The new Africa Developments Toyota Runnings of Jaapie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton was now involved in a battle with Charles Wilken for 7th position overall, with only seconds separating these two as the day slowly drew to a close. At the start of stage 3, JP Damso and Andre Vermeulen were around 30 seconds behind the 3 front runners and ready to launch their attack when Lady Luck again turned her back on the Total Evolution team. Damso completed stage 3 in a very competitive time, but soon after, his rally was over.
Coming out of the last stage, we had a bit of a noise from the engine, and yeah, now the service, something wrong in the head, so before we make get more damage, we'll roll it good.
With Damso removed from the action yet again, it was up to third-placed Hergen Fecken and Pierre Harris to make their move, just like they did in stage 1. The BP Ultimate Polo flew through the 18-kilometer stage in a time of just 8 minutes and 52 seconds. Fecken's time was fast, but not the fastest. BP Ultimate teammates Jan Habich and Douglas Judd were once again in a fight for the lead of a national rally. Habich went 2 seconds faster than Fecken and extended his lead over his teammate to 4 seconds. It was now up to Gemmell to try and stay ahead of the charging Volkswagens, and he did. The Castrol Toyota Auris driver has tasted victory already this season, and with a blistering time of 8 minutes and 48 seconds, it was clear that he liked it. The stage-winning time, however, only increased his overall lead to a mere 4 seconds.
Is easy left down. Is easy left down.
Yeah, it's hot in the car, it's hot to drive, and it's a hot time.
From the Overberg farmlands, the crews had to deal with Friday afternoon Cape Town traffic and a number of roadworks on the N2 as they had to make their way to Brackenfell for the final test of the day. It was a short 700-meter stage in a shopping center parking lot, designed to bring the action to the doorsteps of thousands of rally fans. But it's also the type of stage in which a driver has very little to gain and a lot to lose, as sidewalks and pavements lurk around every corner.
On these type of so-called spectator stages, times are usually close, with only seconds separating all the top drivers, and this year it was no different. But with only seconds separating the top drivers on the overall standings, a second or two late on day one could come in very handy. Habig and Judd set a time of 1 minute flat in the BP Ultimate Polo, but so did teammates Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson. More importantly, the Castrol Toyota Auris of Johnny Gemmell and Peter Marsh matched the same time, so the overall lead remained at 4 seconds. Mark Lonier and Robert Paisley's Castrol Toyota Auris went 1 second slower. Charles Wilkin and Greg Godrich also only lost 1 second to the leaders in their Sasol Konica Minolta Subaru, but managed to now tie with the new Africa Developments Toyota Runnix of Japie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton for 6th position overall. In a battle so close, Hergen Fecken and Pierre Aries were disappointed by losing a further 2 seconds to their rivals Gemmell and Habig.
As is always the case, the Premier S2000 and Class N4 production cars occupied the top of the standings, but behind them a host of up-and-coming drivers spread out across 4 more different classes were all involved in their own private battles.
Cape Townians Mike Nathan and Derek Jacobs were now in their second event behind the wheel of the AWI Mitsubishi Lancer. Nathan was not yet on the pace of the production car leaders, but he was involved in a furious battle with the Subaru Impreza of young Zimbabwean driver Chase Atwell and Brian Carriel for the final step of the production car podium. Going into the last stage of the day, Atwell actually had the upper hand, but proved that drivers have lots to lose on those short task stages, handing third in the production car battle back to Nathan. In Class A7, the top class for rally cars with only front-wheel drive, defending champions Chris de Wit and Dean Redlinghuysen's nightmare continued. For the second successive event, the Total Evolution Toyota Runnix failed to make the start, courtesy of yet another engine failure. Schalk Burger and Armand de Tooy took the initiative by winning stage 1 in their USN Spike Energy Drink Toyota Corolla, only to retire 1 stage later, also courtesy of an engine failure. Burger's demise left the door open for Stefan Wilken and Greg Gericke and their Panhard Seats Volkswagen Polo to fight it out with class rivals Evan Hutchison and Alvin Kutsia in their Motrite Toyota Runnix. Hutchison was fresh from a win on the Off-Road Championship and is now starting to put his skills to good use in rallying. But at the end of day 1, the Panhard Seats Polo was just a little too strong. Wilken ended day 1 with a mere 7-second class lead, which drew the battle lines for day 2. Class A6 was once again the battleground for the trio of Total Evolution Toyota teammates. Current class champion Craig Trott with Robbie Coetzee in the hot seat was as consistent as always and completed the day without taking any risks. But the real class battle was between Rodney Versaghi and Catalin Swan and the Toyota Auris of Mohamed Musa and Grant Martin. Versaghi won in the first round in Natal, but it was Musa who set the pace until he was forced to retire. Here in Cape Town, it was much closer, with only 8 seconds separating these two in Musa's favour as they headed for bed after day 1. Class A5 is the first step on the rally ladder and the place to look if you are looking for tomorrow's champions. Cape Town youngster Ashley Hake Smith and Hilton Orfrey drove well to end the day 3rd in class in their Team React Toyota Yaris. But all eyes were once again on the much talked about battle between BP Ultimate City Golf teammates Andre Kleinwerk and Des de Fortier and Gugu Zulu and Carl Peskin. Kleinwerk is the current class champion and Zulu a former Class A5 champion. But it was Kleinwerk who once again impressed friend and foe with a dominating performance, ending the day with a 30-second advantage over Zulu. In the remaining production car class, Class N3, Dave Compton and Pierre Jordan opened up a commanding class lead of nearly a minute in their Sasol Toyota Runnix. Cape Townians Duncan English and Rob Williams put their local knowledge to good use by occupying 2nd in their Toyota Runnix, but had the determined team of Abdurrahman Amle and Yusuf Hanif in a similar car breathing down their necks, just 8 seconds behind.
A hot and long day finally came to an end, allowing the remaining crews to recover and replenish their energy for an even longer day 2. Will Gemmell hang on to his slender lead, or will Volkswagen turn the tables? Day 2 of the Toyota Dealer Cape Rally, and the day that would determine the winner of round 2 of the Sasol South African Rally Championship. Nothing in rallying can be taken for granted, but with the way things have played out on day 1, the winner should come from the leading group, consisting of Johnny Gemmel, Jan Habig and Gergen Fekken.
There's really no option but to go as hard as we can. The car's feeling good. Douglas is on the notes.
Well, what is it to do? There's 5 stages, so we'll push hard, see if we can take 10, maybe more. And if it comes to the last stage and we're not there, then maybe we'll give up. But the first few stages we'll push.
The plan, we're only 4 seconds in front, so we've still got to go.
As the overnight rally leader, Johnny Gemmel got to choose his starting position for day 2, and to no one's surprise, he chose to defend his slender lead from 8th on the road. With everyone wanting to be further back, day 2 starting order ended in a perfect reversal of day 1's positions, with 8th place Visser Du Plessis having no choice but to sweep the road. The remaining 5 stages of the Toyota Dealer Cape Rally will all be contested on dirt back in the Caledon farmland region. Stage 5 was a repeat of the first stage, with the famous water splash waiting to entertain the enthusiastic crowd again.
On most days, it will be a disadvantage to be the first car on the road, or the road sweeper as they call it. But on the last day of the Toyota Dealer Cape Rally, it turned out that first on the road was not such a bad place to be. The reason? Dust. The Bertex Subaru of Visser Du Plessis and Gerard Snyman broke the early morning silence, leaving a cloud of dust in their wake. They were also the first ones to tackle the water splash and put up a show for the crowd. And Du Plessis did not disappoint. With spectators so close to the action, this served as a reminder that rallying is a dangerous sport.
The camera came off, the inboard camera, everything just collapsed. We really punished the car.
Charles Wilkin and Greg Godrich were the second ones to tackle stage 5. And with no wind to blow the dust away, they already suffered from a lack of visibility in certain places along the stage. The Sasol Konica Minolta Subaru completed stage 5 in a time of 15 minutes and 4 seconds, or 4 seconds slower than the time set by Du Plessis.
Yeah, I lost a lot of time in the dust, especially in the dips.
Japie van Niekerk and Robin Houghton were next in the new Africa Developments Toyota Runnings. Van Niekerk and Wilkin were tied for 6th at the start of the stage, but a time of 15 minutes and 1 second saw Van Niekerk open up a gap of 3 seconds over the leading production car. After sweeping the roads on day 1, Enzo Keen and Guy Hodgson would have been much happier on day 2. The BP Ultimate Polo was 4th on the road for day 2. But by now, the dust proved to be a real problem. Keen set a time of 15 minutes and 3 seconds, 3 seconds slower than Du Plessis and 4 seconds slower than his own time from the day before.
No, it's difficult now. I think the car in front of us had a problem because we really had to go slow towards the end.
Mark Lonier and Robert Paisley were now in a difficult position in their Castrol Toyota Auras. The youngster was a little too far behind the leading trio to try and reel them in without taking any risks. And risks on this event was something he could not afford to take. Clonier pushed on regardless and blasted through the dust and the stage in a time of 14 minutes and 49 seconds.
No cut. Left 2 and crest right 1.
You know, one thing I've learned in the off-road is, yeah, there are a couple of small tricks that you learn in the dust, and I think I applied them there. And, yeah, I'm quite happy with the result.
With only the top 3 remaining, this was the time for the aspiring victors to make a move. Remember, the gap between Fekken in 3rd and Gemmel in 1st, with Habig in between, was only 10 seconds at the start of the day. But Gergen Fekken and Pierre Aris put in an early performance that reminded of the great Serge Damso. Their strategy was to hit hard on the first stage of the day and catch the competition off guard, which was exactly what they did. Fekken flew past the finish in a time of 14 minutes and 34 seconds.
It's a bit dusty, so you can't see the lines, and obviously we ran a bit wide on one of the corners and we got a bit of a flat on the right rear, but the dust is the main problem.
Jan Habig and Douglas Judd now had it all to do in their BP Ultimate Volkswagen, but the 6-times champion simply could not match the Flying Fekken through this first stage of the morning. Habig was faster than anyone else, but lost 9 seconds to teammate Fekken. The dust also didn't help.
But I suppose it'll be the same for most of the guys, so we'll just have to see who has the most luck with a bit of wind that comes up and a bit of a breeze. Yeah, but we didn't have a nice stage, eh?
With Johnny Gemmell and Peter Marsh still in the stage, it was unclear as to who would be leading. The Castrol Toyota Auris started the day with a 4-second advantage and needed a time of 14 minutes and 44 seconds to remain in the lead, but could only manage a time of 14 minutes and 51 seconds. It was fast, but not fast enough. The former rally leader dropped from first to third, and the dice was now on.
Confirmation of how the Flying Feken managed to climb from third to first in just one stage. Gemmell drops to third while Habig moves to second, but the difference between first and third remains just 7 seconds.
Yeah, we had a good stage, a bit dusty, but obviously everyone had the dust, so we pushed quite hard and it seems to be a good time.
After the break, we take a glimpse of what the teams have at their disposal to keep them safe at these breakneck speeds. And the race for Rally Honours reaches boiling. It's the final day of the Toyota